Good afternoon, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart. Today is Sunday, April 6, 2014, and this is the stock trade ideas. 8 stock trade ideas we're going to talk about today. First one is C-Trip. Okay, C-Trip we were in so we had 3 we were in last week that we got out of, exited. I'm going to talk about that. And then one I'm currently still in, which is Goldman Sachs, and then talk about 5 or 6 more that we're looking at, including C-Trip here. So C-Trip we got in on this day. Actually, our entry that we were targeting was slightly above the high here. We never hit it this day, so we hit it here. And then our initial exit was up here, and I went ahead and exited all 4 of the positions. So we had a nice little profit on it. I think it was like $100 a contract. And the thing I was concerned about, I thought that we were getting a little move up and that we'd get this pullback, because I thought we'd get a wave 1 and maybe a little wave 2 pullback. I didn't like the way the spread on the options was like $80 between bid and ask, and I think at one point even $100 between bid and ask. I thought, okay, this is really hard to work with. So when I hit my entry point or initial exit point, I went ahead and exited the trade, all 4 of the options at that time. So that's what we did on that one, and we did have a profit. Now I am watching this one. We did get a close below the 10, but what I'm actually watching for is an upside move still on this, and then I'll have to look at the options and see whether or not it's something we still want to play or not. So that's what I'm looking for on C-Trip. So that's still one on the radar, but I've got an asterisk by it. I want to go to Valero. Valero, we got in up around, I can't remember the exact number, but I thought, okay, this thing is acting like if I get a close back above the 10, but it was a big bar close. And I decided to go for it anyway and went with April, kind of 2.5 week options. And I thought this was going to run, but it didn't. And when I said, okay, I'm going to exit if I get a close below the prior day low, and we did. So exited, we lost, I think it was like 42% on the trade, $70 a contract. So, that didn't turn out. Unfortunate. It still may turn out on this from a standpoint of this head and shoulders consolidation. It'll be interesting to see, but I wasn't going to stick around to find out. And let's see, the next one is Stratasys. Stratasys, we had half of the trade that we were out of with a profit, and then we had the second half that I think it was here where it gapped up on the opening on 4-1. Yes, it was. Okay. And so on this gap up, it hit the stop that we were having on the option itself because I wanted to maintain a profitable trade. And so we exited there minus $80 a contract, but we were still up $360 on the trade for 4 contracts. So 6 days, 18% profit. Can't complain. Now, in terms of a new trade, I am watching this and I'm looking at an entry down below the low here. To buy puts, because this looks to me like, yeah, we had this little pullback, which is where I entered on the puts initially. I still think this big symmetrical triangle is possibly working, and we got a pullback up into the triangle to the trend line, and now we may be getting ready to head back down, but we'll see. And this thing can, get a head of steam on it fairly quickly. Okay, so that's Stratasys, Valero. So those are the 3 positions we exited last week. Now, Goldman Sachs is the one that I'm currently in. We're still in. I think we got in it on the 24th. Let me see if I can go and look back here real quick. I'm going back to some information. Yeah, on the 24th is when we got in. Okay, we had puts, April 170 puts. Okay, so we were in the money. We got down. And we still haven't quite hit the target. I think our target's down here a little ways, down near the bottom of the Kelter channel. So we're still in these. We did not get exited out yet. And now this has come back down and closed down. And the way this is acting, it's interesting that the low right here is the exact same low that it hit. 160.77, 160.77 is the low. Draw a trend line across. You could have a little bit of a shoulder, head, and shoulder working here. If that is the case and it breaks this trend, this neckline, this head is the potential move that you will get from this neckline on down. So we'll see. I'll be looking to exit part of the position at my target, at my initial target, and then I'm going to ride the second half. So we'll see if that's the way this plays out on Goldman Sachs. Okay, Newmont. We had a trade idea in to go long with calls. It didn't hit the target, so I'm keeping the same trade ID in there, and it's on the webpage. It's on the Trade Ideas webpage. By the way, that is password protected. I know I've mentioned that before. All you have to do is sign up, your first name and email address. You get access to that, become a subscriber, and you'll be good to go. But again, so we're still playing the call trade on Newmont, and we'll look to see if we get in that. MGM Resorts International is what it's actually called. I'm looking for a put position again to sell this, and I'm looking down below here. I think we've got another possible that we've had this little pullback. We're getting ready to roll back over. When you look at this, we had the negative, divergence that still played out in here pretty strongly. And I still think that now we're getting this close black below the 10. I think we could be getting ready to swing down. We've broken this trend line in here. And, we got the possible that we got this other trend line right in here between these two lows, right there and right there. And if it breaks that, it's going to run, and it could go all the way down here and test the 233. So we'll have to watch, and that's what I'm looking for on MGM Grand. We talked about Stratasys already, that I was looking for. I think I mentioned that anyway, that I'm looking for it to go back south. So I am looking for to enter a put position in here below this. Tesoro. This was interesting because Tesoro with these fan lines, I thought we might get a move upwards, but now the way this is acting and closing below the 10 in here, if we get a close down below, I've got a target for an entry down in here. If we get just a touch point, not a close, we hit the entry point, we're going to buy puts, and we could be looking to break this trend line, and this thing could actually roll over and head down. So I've got to let the stock tell me what it wants to do, and so that's, if it does hit that number, then we're going to go ahead and play it to the downside. So right now, that's what I'm looking for on Tesoro. And then Xilinx is the last one. We were trying to get in to see if it went down here. It never did. It pulled back up a little bit more. And now we've got this close back below the 10 again. And I'm looking for an entry. I'm looking for a put play if it hits this entry. I still think we had a lot of negative divergence in here. And I think this stock is going to want to roll over and head down. So that's what we're playing. That's what we're looking for as Xilinx. Again, the trade ideas on the webpage. I think that covers everything. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, we don't have any major indicator or major economic reports coming out until Wednesday, when we have the FOMC minutes that come out at 1 o'clock, I believe, Central Time. So that's the first thing on the week, and I think there's a couple others on Thursday, Friday. But that's about it. So we'll have to look to see if any of the other activities are on the radar with Russia, Ukraine, that kind of thing, affect anything. And also, the way the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000 have been trading, see what they do. But that's it for the trade ideas today. Click the link down below. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Fill out the form on the homepage too. And you'll be able to get email updates for when I get new posts, and you'll be able to download the free Trader's Toolbox guide. So this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great Monday and Tuesday. We'll talk to you Tuesday evening.